Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. Well, this week, a special edition of our show as we devote our full hour to stories from around Indiana. And we begin with important news in Northwest Indiana regarding two projects that have been decades in the making. Final project approvals have been had for more than $600 million double tracking of the South Shore rail line. There's also movement on the $945 million Westlake extension of the commuter line. The double tracking of the line will stretch from Gary to Michigan City. The Westlake corridor, an 8.5-mile extension from Hammond to Munster and Dyer. And I'm pleased to welcome to the show South Shore Line President and General Manager Mike Noland with the latest on these projects that have been, again, a long time coming. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Gary. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, put this in perspective for people outside of Northwest Indiana. These projects, big, called transformational, and they've been literally talked about for decades. How monumental is the fact that on the double tracking, you got the final contract approval and things are beginning to move?
It's huge. This project has been envisioned for decades, and it really unlocks the potential we have to access the Chicago market that's been sitting there waiting for us to take advantage of for so many years. And now we can make our train times so much quicker to and from Chicago. We can add more frequency of service, and our on-time performance will be excellent. And that's what this project is going to do. And when that happens, it means opportunities for people to come over here and take advantage of the great things Northwest Indiana has and leverage all the wonderful placemaking, tax climate, quality of life things that we've really invested in over the years.
Yeah, talk about the project, the double tracking. Mike, 16-mile path essentially is going to be double tracked and the impact that's going to have on time. I know you're adding additional trains as well.
Sure. I mean, right now, what we have in this corridor that you mentioned between Gary and Michigan City is essentially a railroad that runs two-way traffic on a one-way street. And so when a train is going one direction, another train can't pass it alongside if it's going slower, or if a train's coming the other direction, it's got to wait in a siding. So by having two tracks, we can move trains back and forth, and we can run express service. We can manage around delays if there's a delay on one train line, and we can really open up opportunities to add additional trains that we can't today because of the lack of infrastructure that's on the system.
Yeah, let's talk about the other major project, nearly $1 billion project, the Westlake extension, an 8-mile extension of the South Shore, and what that ultimately will mean to the region as well.
Sure. The Westlake corridor was a vision that was started in the mid-'80s. Pete Visclosky, our former now retired congressman, championed it for years. It really opens up transit to the Chicago market from an underserved area in Lake County. When you go over and you look at the Chicago system, there's 11 lines that radiate out of Chicago into the suburbs. Here in Northwest Indiana, we had one line serving the third largest business climate in the country, 8th largest in the world. And so by opening up and developing this new train line in Lake County, we really open up opportunities to get the higher paying jobs in Chicago and then come back and spend that higher dollars in Northwest Indiana. It really is an opportunity for our community and for our residents.
Yeah, I know you were seeing a big impact down the road, but you're actually, as we were talking off camera, already beginning to see some movement, people moving from Illinois over to Northwest Indiana in anticipation of this better connectivity and, investment, private sector investment as well.
Absolutely. Really, frankly, Gary, once the funding was locked up with the commitments from Governor Holcomb and the General Assembly, followed up by the federal government signing a full funding grant agreement, once people knew that the money was there and real, then that's when things really started to heat up. There is a tremendous amount of private sector development, and there are people here who are just clamoring for the opportunity for this new service to start. They're not waiting for it to get here. People are already anticipating the need or the opportunities that this new service is going to provide.
Yep. Have about 30 seconds, Mike, but give us the updated timeline, if you will, on both the double tracking and the Westlake extension as well.
Yeah, we've gone from if to when. We're now in the pardon our dust mode. So for the next 2 years on the double track project on the main line, and the next 3 years for Westlake, we are going to be a major construction company. Several thousand construction jobs will be out there in force building this railroad. And in the spring of 24, we'll open up the new service for double track. And a year later, in the spring of 25, we'll open up Westlake for some significant new commuter rail opportunities, better service serving Northwest Indiana. We're really excited.
All right, transformational projects indeed coming to life after many, many years. Mike Noland is the president and general manager of the South Shoreline. Mike, as always, welcome, and we look forward to following up with you in the future.
Happy to do it, Gary. Good talking to you. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas.
All right, Merry Christmas to you as well.